Hello and welcome back to the next part as we continue our journey learning to make a traditional Andean style sling. For this section, we're going to learn how to add some strands going from a 16 to a 24 strand braid. This will really help support the pouch when we get to the midsection and weaving that pouch structure. Without further ado, let's get started.
Okay, so now that I've done most of the length to get towards the pouch, I want to um, broaden the retention cord and add some strands into the braid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some additional yarn that I bundled up and I'm going to start putting it into the mix um, of the passes here. So on this one, I'm essentially going to take it at the midpoint, hold it down to the last pass that was done, and basically um, put that kind of in the middle of the other two pairs of colors. So there. Um, and here. So that I'm going to have like a blue purple between the orange red and the green yellow. And basically checking that I have about the same distance on both sides. The amount of yarn in total that I put for this edition is it's a 10-foot length roughly, but folded in half. So each strand that I'm braiding is about 5 feet, as opposed to when I began with the orange, yellow, red, etc. Those were about 9 feet per strand, or I think 18 feet roughly for the whole continuous length. So I'll come right back. I'm going to do another pass here. Well, basically, you know, I'm going to do a pass over this as if I was just doing my normal braid. If I get untangled. And what I'm going to do with that so that kind of seals that addition down in there, and it makes it sort of a lower of sorts. I'm going to add another blue purple here, do a pass, another bluish purple one. But when I add that next one, I'll then have a lower blue, and I'll be able to start mixing it into the braid. So let me grab another one, and I'll show you what I mean as I add these. All right, so here's my second one that I'm bringing in about, in half. I'm just going to lay it right over those next passes. And as I switch then, and reset, you'll see this is this most top one that goes kind of parallel to my finger. That's the one I just added. The blue you see underneath was the very first one I added. And I pulled it a little bit, don't want to do that. We're not going to do anything with that blue just yet. Not until I add essentially the next one. And so what I'll do there is, let me just grab the next strand and then I'll show you. Okay, so I laid the third additional cross strand over. So it's sort of acting as the upper, even though it's just been added. I'm going to work similar to I have in the past, bringing that lower over to an upper, a lower over to an upper, Now here's where I'm working the first new addition. I'm going to take the blue that I added and I'm going to carry it over and match it with this purple that I just put on here. I'm going to grab the blue here and cross it over. And you can't pull too tight because it's literally basically just a layer underneath. So just be a little gentle with it at first. And then I need to grab the lower, this one, come over. And then the lower, this one, and come over. And there we go. And we're going to scoop the other side. And here we're set up now for that final additional thread and bringing it in to the mix. So let me grab that. Okay, so I put the fourth and final cross thread on here that I'm going to use to expand the retention cord. It's just draped over, just like we've done in the past, but it's serving as the upper at this point to the blue that we put kind of the step before. So now I'm going to just continue working my braid, grab that lower, pull it a little bit, bring it over, match it to that upper, grab this lower, give it a little tension, match it to this upper, and I'm going to take the blue and I'm going to bring it over and match it basically to this purple as the upper, and then take the blue, bring it over and match it to the purple here. And then just kind of finish this out. Lower, bring it over, get some tension, bring it over, match it with the upper, and then take this lower and match it with the upper. So now, instead of working, just the couple things that would go over, we now have an extra set of strands that we'll be working, which is all good and fine. And now that I've done that, I've added all of them, it should be easier to start tensioning and kind of getting this where I want to. But much like we did in all the previous ones, you're still just taking a lower and you're matching it to an upper. You're taking a lower, matching it to an upper. Take this purple, that's the next one, so we'll match it, bring it over, match it to the blue, and again bring this lower over to that upper. You can see how those additional strands, sorry I'm moving all around the frame, it's hard to stay in there. So there we go, I bringing those over, and then I find the lower, which is the red here, bring it over to the upper, and then this one, bring it over to the upper, and there we go. So I'm going to do a couple passes of this, and then I'll show a little bit of what it looks like now that we're expanding the braid, and also what the pattern is going to start to look like. So yeah, yeah, you can see the pattern here has now picked up that blue purple, um, kind of in between the other colors. So yeah, it's a little bit thicker, but not terribly so. It does seem to have less stretch than the section that is a little bit less strands, the 16 strands versus the 24 strands, and a little bit less flex. But otherwise, it's coming together pretty well. I'm going to do a couple inches of this, and then I'm going to work to set up the weaving of the pouch for the sling. So there you go.